Hello, and today I'll be talking about um, Thorfinn, the son of Thors. What makes this character really special is that at the opening of the season, and warning, there are a lot of spoilers. At the opening of the season, we can see Thorfinn playing with other kids with the wooden swords, and they're talking about Valhalla, whatever. They're really passionate about war. But his father told him that you don't have any enemies, and he didn't understand realistically because he was just a child that wouldn't understand what these words mean. It is really amazing that we can see Thorfinn's development over the years, and essentially his father was murdered in a very brutal and dishonorable way that led Thorfinn to be really enraged and really uh, livid towards Askeladd, the guy that betrayed his father. They 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 considered Thor's to be a traitor because he left the Vikings. He left them because he wanted to live a more peaceful life. He didn't want any more bloodshed because he understand the consequences of his actions. He was a really great warrior, but nobody saw it as that. He was one of the toughest warriors, and they had no other choice but to kill him with using an ambush. He even fought them off without any swords. He fought them off with his bare hands. He was a great warrior. And Thorfinn, seeing that, he saw his dad, that is a great warrior, fall down in betrayal in that ugly way, in an ugly sight for any kid to see. He started shouting at Askeladd that he's gonna kill him and whatnot. And he started training with Askeladd and everything. He stuck with the Vikings because that's the only way for him to develop his skills, develop them enough to actually strike back at Askeladd. So as the story progresses, we can see everything going on, and we see Thorfinn becoming a monster, essentially, slaughtering many people, slaughtering mercilessly, and even fighting Thorkill, which is a very huge guy, and he won his respect. Even though he's a small guy, he's very skilled at fighting. He's very skilled at like brandishing his knives and slicing through his enemies. Even though he couldn't beat Askeladd, he was looking for the revenge. He's giving him an ultimatum every time. He's giving ultimatums for Askeladd every time. He's telling him that he's gonna come back, he's gonna strike him back, but he never does. And that dream is taken away from him by none other than the Prince Canute, which was a coward. And we fast forward to him becoming a slave after that, losing everything, running away, and becoming a slave. Essentially, he started living a humble lifestyle. What we can learn from that is that our actions have consequences, obviously, but having no enemies means that you don't have to hurt people because it's gonna hurt you. Essentially, that's how I interpreted it from the movie. And Thorfinn utters these words later on, the words of his dad. He understands what his father means after a while. After a long time, he understands that revenge isn't always the answer, and that hurting people is an optimal thing to do. He starts having PTSD and seeing all these flashbacks of the people he killed. It is really abominable, but a very powerful series that makes you reflect on your own life, on your own decisions, the people you've hurt with your words, the people that you've done wrong. Having no enemies is a stoic thing to do. It is a very stoic thing to do. Not hurting people just because they wronged you. they have their own problems as well. But you don't have to take it to the extent that Thorfinn took it. But just this notion brings me to peace, and brings me to inner peace, and seeing the world in a more positive way. Even though the world can be brutal and everything, you don't have to be brutal as well. Thanks for tuning in. And Thorfinn is one of my favorite characters of all time. Thank you.